okay, I would like to take an opportunity to point out that, yes, I did, shower. I mean, I always do, I try and get dressed up, to look nice for the masses, because that's what I do. But, I really did dry my hair. It really is that humid out. Seriously, like, it's so incredibly hot that I could probably sleep on like a bed of ice and I'd still feel hot. At least to me anyway. I mean, I used to take like cold showers in the morning just because, it's healthier for the environment and stuff like that. Now I take them because they're so darn refreshing. It's unbelievable. But, it feels good and, again, it's that humid out. Like, seriously, I dried my hair. I didn't blow dry it, and actually sort of like, fan, like I do that. And I just messed it up again. Oh, dear. So, yeah. This is one hot hump day. Happy hump day, everybody. So last night I was watching America's Got Talent, and out of the blue I get a call from my mom, because she actually watched it too, see. And we're talking on the phone, and I'm like, so what do you think of America's Got Talent? And she's like, oh, I like the host, but why does he have a flower in his white tux? I'm like, Mom, it's Terry Crews. The man can do whatever he wants. He is Terry Crews. And what I say isn't hyperbole. That's actually true. The man can do whatever he wants. He's that awesome. Actually, that probably was hyperbole. Anyway, so yes, last night. So, okay. Again, this is really the first time I've actually watched a season of actual America's Got Talent from, start to end. Because, technically the first season I did watch was America's Got Talent, the Champions, but that was a wildly different format. Here they have like 12 acts, and then they show them on one night, and then they get to the top 7 on the next night, which, okay, now I can see why, it's sort of spaced out, the way it is. So it should be quite interesting going forward to see who, because there's some people who still have yet to go in, the coming weeks, which should be awesome. Hold on. Son of a gun, I just had the list up of who was just there. Hold on. There we go. Where's the, there we go. Okay, so in terms of the people who came last night, it was all pretty awesome. I got to see a lot of acts I really did enjoy, from all the previous auditions and and such. So that was really sweet. Let's see. Although I felt really bad for, honestly, okay, the opera singer in Danger Act that was Nick and Lindsay, yeah, I'll admit that kind of deserved to get buzz. The negative buzzer, the X buzzer, not the golden one. But honestly, buzzing the contortionist, that was just wrong. And every time I watch that contortionist, I'm like, ow. I'm just standing completely still, and yet watching her makes my whole body hurt. Why is that happening? So, yeah, that was awesome. The Sentimentalists, they were, I'll admit that was a little bit, because it's pretty clear to see that they were the wild card, and their act proved that it really needed a lot of work. But, seeing them again, that was really sweet. Light Balance Kids, they were, the children of the original Light Balance who I think, won America's Got Talent, so that was pretty sweet. The Andover Youth Choir and Tyler Butler Figueroa, like, both of those acts were, golden buzzers. And I'm just saying right now, if America's Got Talent doesn't work for either one of them, like, there's gotta be, like, some sort of, like, jam session between both of those acts. I think that'd be really cool. Like, yeah, the violinist would be playing music for the choir, so that would actually be, that'd be pretty sweet. And, that's actually one thing I'm sure a lot of people probably have thought of this, but that is something I would like to see as well. Cause, I mean, the show is America's Got Talent, and the ages for each act, varies, greatly. But more often than not, you get a lot of, acts that are, kids. Like, you ever get the feeling like maybe they probably like, I mean, again, we live in a day and age where, cell phone technology, social media, stuff like that can keep everybody in touch. You think like maybe they keep in touch and like, hey, you want to like do a jam session at some point? They're like, yeah, I'll come over and visit and do it. That'd be really cool. That'd be like a great way to like build up the America's Got Talent community. And honestly, I think that would really showcase the biggest talent America does have. And that is, well, not just America, but people all over the world have this talent. And technically, it's not really a talent so much as it is something that people naturally do. But it is still nice to see. And that's just keeping in touch with each other, keeping people together, bringing people together, having fun, all good things that, lots of people, tend to, I mean, it's stuff we tend to take for granted for sure, but, it's still fun to watch. I still like it, so there's that. I didn't really get an opportunity to watch Invader Zim Enter the Florpus last night. I'm going to try and do that today. Maybe I can, talk about that for a little bit. Although, I guess before I watch, I could probably give a little bit of a brief insight for Invader Zim Enter the Florpus, because I did watch that show. Because I did watch Invader Zim growing up, and, it definitely is a show that people are still talking about to this very day. So, it can't be all bad. Okay. So, I'll never forget when Invader Zim had first, premiered on Nickelodeon. It was actually a pretty big weekend, because not only was that weekend, not only during that weekend did Invader Zim premiere, but another show also premiered. Yeah, it was, The Fairly Odd Parents, created by Butch Hartman, which, to me, admittedly looked like the better show. Partly because I really was, at the time, a little... Now, keep in mind, I really wasn't that much of an expert on, animators and what they ever did and stuff like that, but of who I did sort of know about and whose work I watched when I was a kid, Butch Hartman was the more well-known one, because before he did Fairly Odd Parents, he actually worked on Cartoon Network, helping create shows like Johnny Bravo and Dexter's Laboratory. So, yeah, Butch Hartman had a bit of a pedigree. So the fact that he came out with a new show, and, you have Invader Zim as well, which looks darker and, let's be real here, much more disturbing, you can kind of tell which one really took off more in popularity at the time. But that's not to say at all that Invader Zim was bad. It was just one show just happened more popular than the other. And that's not bad. That's not really... If anything, it's good for Nickelodeon. In a way, Invader Zim and the Fairly Odd Parents was a very strange power hour that combined science and magic, apparently. If you want to go that route. Well, yeah, I guess sci-fi and fantasy. That works, I suppose. So, yeah. Although, one thing that really helped Invader Zim really get going further in the popularity, outside of the fact that lots of people are relatively on the sadistic side and therefore want to see more of that, is when the Fairly Odd Parents first premiered on Nickelodeon, Butch Hartman only had like 6 episodes made, and they would constantly show reruns of those 6 episodes for like an entire year. Meanwhile, Invader Zim just had like new episode, new episode, new episode, new episode, new episode. Like, not like that rapid fire, but, you know, it was still coming out a lot with new content. And that really did help Invader Zim sort of, you know, boost in popularity, which, again, is good for Nickelodeon. You know, that's, you know, it's like that old cartoon that was voiced by Tony J would say, "We've got to have money." And that's what, and Nickelodeon really was making money off of that. And keep in mind, this was actually right before SpongeBob premiered, I believe. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think SpongeBob premiered like, well, I forget which premiered first. I think, someone help me figure that out. Did SpongeBob premiere first, or was it Fairly Odd Parents and Invader Zim? I mean, I definitely remember SpongeBob came out like during the summer. And Fairly Odd Parents and Invader Zim was definitely more of like the winner, but I forget which. You know what, hold on, I'm gonna look this up. Hold on, let me look it up. When did SpongeBob first air? Okay. So, SpongeBob first aired on May 1st, 1999. Okay. When did Fairly Odd Parents first premiere? Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, SpongeBob was there long before Fairly Odd Parents and Invader Zim. Okay, so I was wrong about that. My apologies. So yeah, and over time, but again, over time, Invader Zim had more new episodes, which boosted in popularity. But the thing about the Fairly Odd Parents episodes, even though there were only 6 of them, they were still really good, and it made people want to see more. So over time, more Fairly Odd Parents episodes premiered, and eventually Fairly Odd Parents had more time slots than Invader Zim did. Not to mention, around the time, people were getting kind of sick of the sort of gross out humor that not just Invader Zim, but a lot of other cartoons were doing. So combine people's lack of enjoying gross out with, again, fewer time slots, yeah, you're gonna not really see much time on TV. But for what Invader Zim did have, it was still fun to watch. It was still, I still liked it. I watched it, though the voice cast was great, Without a doubt, Richard Horvitz, the guy who voices Invader Zim, he would throw out his voice every single time doing the character. In a way, he was like the male version of Colin Klinkenbeer doing Luffy. Like, they loved what they do, but they would throw out their voices, voicing those characters. So that should give you insight of how much you really love the craft, which I would do it myself. Again, voiceover is something like I've always wanted to do, and I actually have done it, in terms of theater and musical theater, but I've always wanted to do it, for animation, which maybe someday. That'd be really sweet. Funny enough, the Fairly Odd Parents ended a couple of years ago, around 2017, and that was right around the time the Enter the Florpus trailer for Invader Zim first premiered. Oh my goodness, one, there can be only one! That'd be pretty cool. Although, in terms of episodes of Invader Zim that definitely stick out to me the most, there's some I would give away, but obviously, one thing about Invader Zim that definitely helped keep its staying power were, like, the quotes. Like, guess who made waffles? And I'm going to sing the Doom song. I can actually sing the Doom song. I'm not going to do that, though. At least not now. And Who doesn't remember the quote, "Why was there bacon in the soup?" Like, yeah, Invader Zim it was disturbing, it was fun, it was funny. I definitely did like it, although I will admit, at the time, I did like Fairly Odd Parents a little bit more. But, you know, they both definitely have a resonating impact on me. You know, I recommend both shows, and I'll get to talking a little bit more about Butch Hartman another time, because he's definitely someone I definitely want to talk about. But for now and tomorrow, it's all about Invader Zim. So, definitely look forward to that. So, like, favorite, share, hit that subscribe button, follow me on the social media platforms. You know, turn notifications on YouTube. You know, I'm very humbled I made this video for all of you guys to watch and enjoy for today. I'm hopefully you'll have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful hump day. And remember, you guys are going to talk and chat. I'm always going to be here to lend an ear. And I'll always have you back. Take care and make good choices. What am I going to do until tomorrow now? What can I do until tomorrow? And you know what? Why not? I'm going to sing the new song now.